Welcome back to Kelpie's Koi Chatting Bubbles. If you watched the previous video about the aqua one filter disaster, my wife's gone out and bought me two replacement taps. I'm going to set it up now and show you how I'm going to do it again and try again. Okay, probably seen this on the previous video. This was the old fitting. I'll put it back on. Pete and Glyn come round to help me out, by the way. Massive thanks to Mad Dog and Pete from West Brom Koi. Now what's happened with that one? Got over tightened and it just keeps turning. So plastic, you over tighten, I suppose that's what happens. Just push that on and don't go heavy handed with it. You'll feel it pinch up, and then that then should be enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show it all again. You've seen it on the last video. I'm going to change both taps. Slight difference, just in the length really. Difference on the fittings, then modify everything when they change things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it all up and I'll show you how to breathe the system properly. I'd like to give a big shout out to Jim, who's turned out to be a friend after meeting him last year. We're on a group chat, we get to chat now and then. After watching my last video, he downloaded the manual for the filter that I've got. Obviously it was second hand, there was no instructions with it. So look out for Jim, it's what I do. Get over to his channel and subscribe to that man. He's absolutely brilliant and he's a clever lad as well. So Jim, thanks for that, matey. In the instructions, when you put a seal in, apparently you're supposed to put some seal lubricant to help the seal, which is what I didn't do. It was a new seal. You wouldn't expect to put anything on it anyway, but maybe that's the mistake that I've made. So what I'm going to do, get it all out, set it all up, and then I'll show you. Again, Jim, it's what I do. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Okay. Now, don't quote me on this. I know there's been a lot of people complaining or giving their points about using chemicals the wrong way and don't do what I do. The seal, it says on the instructions to put a little bit of sealant around there. So what I'm going to use is Vaseline, apparently the seal's dry, so when you put the seal on the unit, then dried out, and therefore apparently that's why they don't seal. Whether they shrink a little bit or what, I don't know. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of Vaseline over it, soften it up, and then if it leaks on mine, you know what I'm like. Now on my previous video I did say that the people who design these, or the people who design these, they'll do a very good job. Now I'm going to put some on the other side as well. Obviously I know the instructions and I am very good at read. I can read, I just can't understand what it means, if that makes sense. In other words, I'm thick, so I'm not very good at reading. So Me personally, of course, this working, but you've got to try, On my previous video, the first attempt to fill the filter with water, thinking it would fill quickly because the pump's in the top, and I thought that was a shaft order, it should be in the bottom, and I still think it should be in the bottom. So that's all I'm doing there. Bit of Vaseline on it. Now then, what I'm also going to do, and I think I've done this on a previous video, the bottle that was in the tank itself with the K1, I'm going to actually put the K1 back in there. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I think there's a little bit of bacteria in that K1 build-up. I'm not going to put that bottle back in. I've got the other two sponge filters, one with a bottle on, and I have made another one like the one Vince made for me, so I can put the two in, which has the two foams on each one with a bottle with K1 in. I'm just going to see how this runs. As you can see, I've got the seal on the top of that. I'm going to tip the K1 out my bottle into here and then get it back up together, and then I want to try and, the thing is I can't video it and show you because the tank's so high I can't physically show you what to do. I'll fetch the pipe and I'll come back and I'll see if I can explain it on video. So I'll just get the K1 for this first and get this all back together. I just thought I'd show you this. This is the bottle that I had in the tank, what Dave showed me how to make. Like I say, you can see by the colour it's mature, so I just want to get that bacteria, if I can, in this filter to help it along. Any bit of crap I see I can take out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fill that up and then I'll come back to it again. I suppose that waste in there really will help, but I don't know if they can hear that, sounds like it's turning to oil. So I'll get the K1 media into this tray and then I'll get back to it. Sorry about the noise, it sounds like I'm going to have an hailstorm. I've always been worried about the roof on this line too. It's the old cheap old plastic corrugated sheet. So, as you can see, I've emptied the contents of the bottle. I hope you can hear me good enough. The K1's in there. Rubber seals on top of that circle there. Foam. Same direction as the pipe there. Seal on the top. Cage on the top, that'll only go on one way anyway. Lubricant around the seal. That'll only go one way, it's got to go in that hole. So now, back into the house. And I'll try and explain to you. What am I doing? I bring the pipe in and explain to you what I'm going to do with the pipe. You need to leave this empty. You need to leave it empty, and I'll explain to you in a bit. Okay, I don't know if they can hear me very well. I'm sorry about the weather. So what I need to try and explain to you is what I'm going to do. You've got your tap on the one end. You need to leave that open to start with. This is the longest pipe. This is the one that sucks the water off the bottom of your tank, and this goes to the inlet. So this goes into your filter. The longest pipe, this should be longer. It's got a little filter on. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this with water first and add this pipe on after. It's a lot easier in my tank. So all you need to do is get that pipe, submerge it all in your tank, or fill it with water anyhow you can, you need to keep this pipe full of water. Then when it's full, turn your tap off and keep your thumb over there. It shouldn't come out in theory. And then you need to get that into your tank, the long pipe, in position, because the water won't come out the tap end. Once that then is submerged into your water, you should be able to release it, because there shouldn't be nothing come out of it. And then put that pipe down the back of your tank and connect it to your filter. It's important this pipe is full of water. If it's not full of water, it won't work. And that's the problem I had when I tried to do before. You can't just say you've got to suck the water out. You can't suck, if you put your mouth around there, you can't physically suck the water out because of that fitting. It's all around there, so you're not sucking and there's nothing. You need to suck from that insert in there, which I couldn't do. So you can either do it like that, put it in, make sure the pipe's completely full, and then turn the tap off, and then connect it to your tank. Okay, this is the only way I can show you how to try and do it. I don't know whether you can catch on there. See the water level? Got to try and keep that pipe underwater and fill it. I've had to fill the tank. I tried to do it half empty, I just couldn't do it. And the idea is to keep that straight piece in the water at all times, because once you've locked that tap off, it won't flow back that way. I'm going to try that anyway. Okay then, get the light on. Sorry about the glare. I put some Vaseline around that gasket. Don't tell me how that's worked, I'm sure. It all feels bone dry. The new pipe fittings, I filled that with water, it was only half full. I didn't think it'd work. You leave that one open. When they're connected, you turn that one on. Don't put your pump in, turn that one on. You can hear your filter fill until the air stops. Then I've plugged it in and it's just solving itself through. And the idea of this tin tray here is, obviously when I had leaks before, when I bought this unit, if you've seen the video before, you can tell the unit was absolutely rimmed with water. So obviously you've got to take these out and clean them. Hopefully now that should clear the tank water. Sounds like it's got a fair bit of pressure. It's got to fill the top of the tank up. That's just a spill tray to catch any water. So obviously every time you empty that out, you're going to get some water spillage. Then all you do is turn these two off, turn your plug off, or pull your plug out, turn them two taps off, unscrew them two fittings, take your tank out, clean it, put it back in, and do the same again. And it should circulate round itself. I'll just show you, you can hear it in the tank. It needs topping up, that's why it's so loud. There you go. And this is why I have problems. I've got black striping everywhere, even at the front, to support the glass in the tank. Now then I've only got that small gap there to get everything fitted. So when you're trying to put that pipe in, it's probably about 18 inches long. That's in the way. And the same with that one, I've got to curl it under there first before I can get it over there, before I can get it in the back of the unit. So there you go, it's up and running. Give it a few days and see if it clears that tank up. And I'll just top the water up now, quiet that down. The fish are all happy anyway. Well, there you go. Still a bit murky. I'm expecting a couple of hours if I'm honest. There's quite a bit of water flushing through there. Don't know what size the pump is. A couple of people suggested using tape around the fitting, stop it leaking, and I've got the type to do it. The thing is, it's in your house. Oh, sorry. Oh, still covering it. And just below the tank there is all the electrics, and the other side of the tank there is even more electrics. And the thing is, if I'd have put tape round it and it'd leak through the night while I'm in bed, not only would it have emptied the tank and maybe killed the fish, but then obviously it would have had more damage to the house. If it's out in your garden or in a shed, it wouldn't matter too much about you losing the water, as long as you don't lose your fish, of course. But regards to doing it in the house, I'm just one of them people that like to do it right. Again, I'd like to thank Jim. Can't thank him enough, mate. Something silly like that. I've used Vaseline round, I don't know if it's the right stuff. I've used it. It's going to get into the water, I shouldn't imagine. So, it should be okay, it should be fine. Well, you'll soon find out anyway. But the fish are all doing well in there anyway, even though the water's that colour. I've been told that is due to sunlight, bit of algae in the water. I'm not bothered either way. I say the fish are happy, the fish are growing, them feeding, and I'll see how the filter progresses. I did pour a very small, little small air stone. It's the one that come out of that bottle, and you've seen in the video, I've only got that little small gap at the back of the tank to put anything in. So I dropped the air stone in the bottom of the tank. Now that's right by the little filter that sucks the water out of the tank into your filter. And then the filter started making a racket, which was sucking air into the filter. I've took that air stone out, and now it's running fine. It's a lot more quieter than that bottle I had in as well. And obviously it'll catch more crap, because the fish tend to hit the bottle, knock the bottle about. It does catch the sediment in the bottom, but obviously because the holes are in the bottom, and maybe I should have made the holes higher up and not so many in the bottom of the bottle. You'd have trapped more crap than in the bottom, but I don't know if it did work that way. So it was working fine, apart from the clarity of the water. It was collecting the crap like it should have been. After spitting the dummy on the last video, a little bit of advice and some new taps, it sorted the problem out. Again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you like what you see, as always, share my videos. I'm averaging about 700-900 views. Click the subscribe button. It don't cost nothing. You don't get adverts. You don't even have to click on the updates if you don't want to. Just click subscribe. It helps everybody on every channel, no matter what you watch on YouTube. And as always, folks, don't forget to polish my thumb. You know you want to. Until next time.
That's all, cupcakes.